Well, hi, Chris Crobler here. Welcome to our next session on growing old graciously and keeping in good shape. Thank you very much for following the other DVDs that we put on, the other blogs that we put on. Today we're going to be focusing on exercise techniques for those over 70, and also we'll be talking about EFT, or emotional freedom technique, otherwise known as tapping. I'll keep a bit of a running conversation going while we go through the routine and bring you up to speed on what has happened over the last 4 or 5 months since I last updated the blog. So what we're going to do here now is what I do is a standard exercise each morning, 7 days a week, sometimes 6 days a week, and which I found is very effective in keeping me fairly limber and in good physical shape. So we start off with doing a version of downward facing dog. What I'll do is I'll do either 5 or 10 repetitions of each of the items that I want to go over with you, and but you should do as many of these items as you feel comfortable with, building up as you go along. So the first item is this: get up in the morning, make a cup of lemon and honey tea, go down, put on the TV on either Al Jazeera or onto BBC, and then start off with the first exercise, which is a version of downward facing dog. I'll do this 5 times. So what you do is lean forward as far as you can comfortably go, pull backwards, come back onto your heels, drop your head down onto the floor, come up and do this again. So do it in total of 5 times. So this is 2, 3, should feel a good stretch, 4, and 5. Then what I do is lay on my back. Hope you can all see this okay. Lay on the back, flat, and get a little bit further away. Arms behind head. And then what you do is lower your arms as far as you can, then open the legs, close, up and down. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4. You should feel us pulling the tummy muscles, and 5. Okay, then relax back, move your back up and down a little bit, just wiggle it about to feel comfortable. Then the next step is to lift the arms towards the knees, alternate knees. Again, for as many times as you feel comfortable. This will work your tummy muscles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And with this, just feel a certain amount of pulling here. It doesn't have to pull dramatically. What you're doing is you're just stimulating these muscles down in the stomach area here. And again, with the arms back as flat as possible on the floor. Now what we'll do is take a look at outward leg, I beg your pardon, is sitting up stretch. And the way you do this is arms out, legs out, move the legs back, move the legs forward, and sit yourself up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so with that done, the next thing to do is to turn over and get into a push-up stance. push-up position. I've been doing push-ups for many years, so this is the position that I use. 1, 2, 3, 4, feel a good stretch there, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so with that done, the next exercise, stand up, just relax. Now what this is, this next exercise is dynamic tension. And this goes back, gosh, way back to the 1980s when dynamic tension exercises became popular. For whatever reason, you don't hear too much of it right now, but I found that it really helps to exercise the muscles a bit. So hands in front of your tummy and pull your hands apart to a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then push the hands in together. Count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what you do, put your hands behind the back and pull them out. Again, away from one another for a count of 10. And then reverse it and push them in towards one another. Count of 10. And you don't have to do this too hard because this is exceptionally good exercise using counter pressures on your own body. Then bring the hands forward, front of the chest, pull out for the count of 10, push in for the count of 10, and then bring your arms up onto your shoulders and make a muscle. Remember what you did as kids. For a count of 10, that feels good, those muscles should be pulling nice and tight. And then what you do, bring it up above the head, arms above the head, and the same thing. Pulling out and pushing in. Okay, so that was the regular exercise which I do, and it doesn't take long, probably 6 or 7 minutes. Then after that I follow this by the regular Qigong exercise, which I do morning and afternoon and sometimes in the evening. I find the Qigong to be the most effective of the routines that I've got so far, and you can go back to the previous blog to get into the finer points of Qigong, which is in addition takes probably an additional 4 or 5 minutes. I then go to into my little gym and I ride my bike, my static bike, for a count of 100. You can see I'm not into any of this heavy extended exercise. And then thereafter I get onto the treadmill and I do treadmill from 10 to 15 minutes with speed starting at 2 miles an hour. You'd probably say that's horribly slow, but it works for me. And then building up to 3 miles an hour. As I say, 10 minutes to 15 minutes. That then takes care of my morning routine, which all coupled together is between, say, 30 and 35 minutes. So now let me give you some feedback on the exercise that I've been doing and talk to you about EFT. This past 6 months has been interesting in that I've had enjoyed generally pretty good health. I have, however, had the experience of playing tennis and falling on the all-weather court and knocking out 3 of my teeth. So that wasn't a lot of fun, but I was very fortunate in that I really never felt much pain and I got better, healed very quickly. Apart from that, the meditation side of things worked very well, probably for the first 4 or 5 months. But I must admit right now, I fall asleep very, very quickly. So I probably got to change my routine to meditate more during the day. So this really gets me to sleep really nicely. Makes you feel good, I must say. Things like bad dreams and lack of sleep, I really don't have any problem with that. I know a lot of people, older people, do have that problem. Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. Now, Emotional Freedom Technique is, or tapping, is something that you can find a lot of work on out on the web. Original founder and a lot of copycat folks that are doing something similar and taking credit for it. So what Emotional Freedom Technique comprises, it is using the meridian points that you have in your upper body to clear pain and discomfort, specifically concentrated pain and discomfort, and then get relief from the pains that you are having. You have to mention these pains specifically. I'll go through a routine for you. The points that you touch, and these are acupuncture points, are first of all below the chopping portion of your hand. Either hand will do, and then moving it up to your top of your head, tapping on top of your head 4 or 5 times, then taking these off. Next to the eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inside the eyebrows, 4 or 5 times. Under the eyes, 4 or 5 times. On the upper lip, 4 or 5 times. The lower lip. On the chest, just to the inside of the arm, tip there, and then under under the nipple, as it were, 4 or 5 times, and then within the armpit 4 or 5 times. Okay, so it's really very straightforward. I must be honest with you, I'm not convinced that it works effectively yet. I have tried it for a rash which has been giving me a real hard time, and sometimes it seems to work and sometimes it doesn't, but the proponents of tapping say that it's amazing. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and keep up with it. So what you do is you identify your problem. So for instance, I have a bad body rash on occasion. So the words to use are, although I have this nasty body rash, I freely and unconditionally love and accept myself. You do that 3 times. Although I have this irritating body rash, I love unconditionally and fully accept myself. Although I have this uncomfortable body rash, I absolutely and completely love and accept myself. Then you move to the top of the head. This body rash, outside of the eyes, this body rash, inside, this body rash, under the eyes, this body rash, above the lip, this body rash, under the lip, this body rash, on the side, this body rash, underneath, this body rash, and there, this body rash. Then you repeat that. This nasty body rash that I'm tired of, this nasty body rash, I'm getting rid of it. This body rash that has been worrying me, this nasty body rash, this body rash, this rash, this irritating rash, this nasty rash, and then across the arms like that, this rash. So According to the experts, you should be able to measure the amount of irritation that you have before you start the exercise routine, do the routine, measure the amount of irritation or soreness that you have, which should have reduced, then carry on and do this a couple of times. So I give you that for your benefit. Try it out. I hope it worked for you, and also look online and pick up the latest on this subject from the various websites. Anyway, I thank you very much for joining me again today. I'll be back later in the year with a report back on how things are generally working out for myself, a general state of health, and with any other items that I might have to share with you. So thank you so much for joining me today. God bless. Bye.